Welcome to Teed Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today on Teed Up, we recap Week 2 of the NFL and preview Browns vs. Jets. I'm Leak and I'm teed up.
All right, we are back. It is officially the end of Week 2. We just got the Browns and Jets tonight to top it all off. But finally, good week of NFL. We saw some actual highlights, but, with the highlights comes a ton of bad news. Obviously, the Big Ben injury, the Drew Brees injury, we're going to get into that soon.
Aaron Donald, too.
Aaron Donald came back in the game, though, so he's fine. I think he'll be all right. But, still, you don't want to see, even if Aaron Donald's, not 100%, you don't want to see that. Antonio Brown with some interesting news we'll get into later. This guy, it's basically Antonio Browned up. We cannot stop talking about him because so much stuff is going on with him. But let's recap these games because every single game was pretty interesting this week. We had a lot of close games. Betting was great this week. I think we all did pretty good. So let's get into it right now. Let's start with the Thursday night game. This was just a horrible game. The first half, there was a lightning delay or something like that, which was pretty annoying, like a storm delay. But the real story of this game was just Cam Newton. He just could not get anything going. He had a horrible performance, and it really wasn't that bad maybe on the stat sheet. But if you watch this game, and granted it is on national TV, that is going to make things seem a lot worse than it is. But this team is just struggling right now because Cam cannot throw the football. And I wish I was just trying to be funny or something like that, but Cam Newton is having a serious issue throwing the football
as a quarterback.
And it's I really don't understand how that happens. And this wasn't just a whatever game to the Panthers by any means. This is a division rival. They're at home. They're 0-1. This is not a must win, but you don't want to start off 0-2. The 17% of 0-2 teams make the playoffs. It's not a good sign at all. But Cam Newton, I have some Panthers friends that are fans of the Panthers, and they were saying put Will Greer in, we got nothing to lose, and maybe they were just being dramatic, but I don't know, man. Me and Malik watched that game. It was bad.
What's funny? We have a group chat where we all talk. We always have this debate if Cam is elite or not, and Jarny got to my head, bro. He had me watch the All or Nothing season. Actually, me and Max watched it right before the game started
on Amazon.
We finished the Amazon series, and we were just damn, Panthers gonna win. They got to. They lost 8 in a row.
Yeah, they lost. So they started 6-2 and ended up finishing 7-9, and the one win was in Week 17. So if you really think about it,
he didn't even play that game.
Yeah, the Week 17 that was just the backup quarterback, and they played the Saints, who was Teddy Bridgewater. So if you think about it, since they were 6-2. They haven't won, 9 games in a row, if you don't include that Week 17 game. And, really, it's the story of this, failure is Cam. It's got to be. He cannot throw the football. He can't play his position efficiently anymore. And the rest of the team is good. Christian McCaffrey was balling out. He didn't get the first down.
He wasn't. No, he fucking
wasn't. He was doing his thing. He wasn't
So-
balling out. He was doing what he could do. Bro, he was doing what? He was getting yards, bro.
16 carries for 39 yards. That's not balling out. That's
He had more receiving yards.
He had receiving yards.
He had more receiving. It was little short passes, and he was just taking it
And
up
Cam,
the field.
first of all, that was mostly Cam's fault.
It was Cam's
everything
fault,
was
bro.
Cam's
Don't make
fault.
it seem like
No
it was
joke.
McCaffrey's fault.
Back that
Bro.
ball that had 7.9 points. No, he didn't ball out. He just had a rough game. It wasn't a ball
Bro,
out.
the Panthers didn't get a touchdown. That's not his fault.
He mad he about to lose week 2.
That's not his fault.
He's-
The Panthers
he's
didn't
nervous.
get a touchdown. He's a running back. That is his fault. What are you talking about?
He's not
So
like
you're
a-
saying it's not Kim's fault, it's his fault?
It's everybody's
Oh
fault.
yeah, no, it's
the
not that defense.
defense.
That
Defense showed
defense
up.
was nah.
Defense did great.
Defense did their job. I started their defense. They got me points. I'm fine with that.
But hey, let's.
Defense probably did a great job because they shut down fucking Jameis Winston, bro.
He didn't throw a pick all
He didn't
game
throw a
though.
pick.
So.
Yeah, no turnovers. So
Bro,
he did his job.
That game just got me so tight. And the play where they did a handoff to Christian
Cam
McCaffrey.
or
Yeah, to Chris-
no, you're talking about the goal line?
Yeah, and the Panthers, they were at 4th and goal. I probably the 1 yard. It wasn't 4th and goal, but I think it was
It was 4th and goal. They were at the 4 yard line.
Yeah, they were insanely close. And Cam Newton's right there, and they try to do a Philly special with fucking Christian McCaffrey, and it doesn't work. So the fact that Cam can't even
he was scared, man.
run the ball anymore, that's obviously a bad sign. I don't know, man. That shoulder, I was really disappointed in the Panthers. I didn't really have like any stake in the game too. I didn't really care. I thought the Bucks, probably could win, but seeing Cam fail like that was just not good. Let's get into the Sunday games though. Lions Chargers. When you play the Lions at their home, it's always a trap game. I don't know why. They did this to the Patriots last year. They did it to the Panthers last year. They did it to the Chargers this year. Like, playing the Lions when they're home, I don't know why. It's always like a dirty football game. You know what I mean? The better team usually doesn't win. The Lions always pull something out. But, I mean, hey, you got to give the Lions credit. They're undefeated right now. They're 1-0 with one tie. Phillip Rivers was frustrated. The Chargers field goal kicker missed 2 field goals. He was, like, screaming on the sideline. He was so mad about it. It was hilarious. Just got to feel for Phillip Rivers there because I feel like nothing goes Phillip Rivers' way. Like, this is a game that you guys should win. They barely beat the Colts, and he was just so mad because he didn't even play bad. He just, I don't know, they were missing field goals, and they're still missing Melvin Gordon, obviously. Eckler did his job, but I don't know, just a tough game for the Chargers. Let's get into the Colts-Titans. Jarny, what happened to your Titans, man? They were supposed to come through. They were honoring somebody. I forget off the top of my head. They had Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry wasn't doing much. He got a touchdown for me, though, on fantasy, so I'll take it. But, I mean, the story of this game was just, like, maybe the Colts are better than we think, like, even without Andrew Luck, because they're doing their job so far. They do have
a good team.
Like, they're just – the rest – pretty much everyone on the team is good except, Jacoby Brissett. And even he's not doing bad by any means. He's not throwing any
Jacoby Brissett was looking like a little bum this past weekend.
They won the game.
They won.
He was giving a bad name for the black quarterbacks, bro.
Cam was giving a bad name.
Cam was doing that too. Teddy Bridgewater too when he came in.
Cam was giving a bad name for them. No.
Teddy Bridgewater is garbage, but I'm gonna save that for the other part of the podcast. But back to
what other part?
Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett's like I mean, I just hope he figures it out, because there were signs where he looked good, and then there were signs where he's just making stupid mistakes. Like, he got a fumble off of a pump fake. Bro, how does that happen? Like, what went wrong?
He has a crazy O-line.
He looked like he was being rushed. Like, I saw good things from the O-line. Like, I saw that they gave him time, but I mean, hey, I lost my bet, so I guess Jacoby Brissett did his thing.
Yeah. The Titans are the most unpredictable team. Like, every time you think they're going to lose, they win. Every time you think they're going to win, they just disappoint you. And, like, I don't know why they do that. It happened to the Pats last year when they were like, they beat the Pats.
Marcus Mariota, bro.
It is actually Marcus Mariota. Yeah. He's like, he can't throw the ball like well.
It's like,
I don't know what it is.
Just, I feel like Marcus Mariota just like, I feel like he just gets in his own head. I feel like he just one day he feels like he's the man and he's gonna take this team to like the top, and then the next week he just fucks it up in some way.
Reality.
Like, from me personally, I've had him on. This is the first year that I probably haven't had him on a fantasy team, and like just through the years, he's guaranteed a interception or a fumble each game. Each game, there's always going to happen.
It does sound about right.
Mariota's like, he's just average. That's who he is.
He's average Joe, basically.
He's average Joe. That's literally who he looks like. Average Joe too, from the fucking Dodgeball movie. Let's get into the Redskins Cowboys. Ty, you're Cowboys, man. I don't know. I saw like.
Sir.
This guy,
Cowboys,
man.
you already know what's going on. Last year, man. Another game, I told y'all they was taking this one, -5.5, easy spread, going to take the Redskins home. They might have thought they had that in the first half. Once Dak threw that large 51-yard touchdown, my boy Devin Smith, who was over from here. That was
Devin Smith?
My boy Devin.
I didn't think the Redskins knew what they
That's
were
not even
for.
Dak's boy, bro. Bro, I hate the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys so much.
God.
I wish I could like them a little
Yes, sir.
This is Cowboys fans for.
bit. We saw a dude on the street who just looked like improper. Like, his outfit was terrible, but he was wearing a Cowboys shirt. And I told Malik, I was like, this is literally Cowboys fans. Like, this guy is the epitome of Cowboys fans. Just like that dude on the corner.
2-0, baby.
They are 2-0. I mean, they're going to win the NFC East as far as I'm concerned, especially with the Eagles' injuries. We'll get into that later as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we got Dolphins next too, 3-0.
yeah, Dolphins. They play the Dolphins. So I mean, look, that's the Cowboys' luck. You know, the NFL got to help them out any way they
Pick
can.
up Cowboys defense. real quick.
Nah, my dad has them, I think.
Oh, of course he
Yeah,
does.
our Diego has them, one of the two. But
Fuck your dad's fantasy team, boy.
yeah, I know. Jarny's playing my dad this week in fantasy, and it is not good right now. Not
It
good.
is not looking good.
My-
All I need is Nick Chubb to stay under 15 points, and I will win this week. That's all I need, baby. That's all I
Chubb a
fucking need.
beast though. I don't know. We'll see against that Jets defense. We gotta wait and see for that. Let's get into the next game. I don't even want to talk about the Redskins Cowboys, man. That game, the Redskins suck. Like the Cowboys should beat the Redskins. That's,
Yeah, that was
you know,
like a no-brainer.
Yeah, good for them.
Monster game for Dak. You know the vibes.
You know the
Oh
vibes,
my
bro.
goodness. Zeke did good too. I mean,
Let's get on to this Packers and Vikings game now.
yeah, Packers Vikings. So Packers went up 21-zip quick. It looked like the Vikings were kind of the same old Vikings. You know, they just kind of suck. I don't really know. The Vikings, they're a good team. They just kind of can't figure it out sometimes. The Packers are like a very good team though. Like they might be probably the best team in the NFC as of right now. Obviously things could change in a second, but their offense looks good and their defense is like legit. Like their defense is like a bend don't break defense, and they kind of just they make plays. They don't really get like interceptions or anything like that. Granted, Kirk Cousins is, you know, the opposite of that, but they were just making plays,
They get
making
stops,
tackles.
yeah.
Like they just look like a really good team, you know. And Aaron Rodgers obviously is going to do his thing every time. The Vikings made a little bit of a comeback though. Dalvin Cook had like a 70-yard touchdown run, and they had a couple opportunities at the end to get a touchdown and take the lead. Just didn't happen. So pretty well fought game from, you know, two.
What I will say, though, for a person that got one catch for 49 yards and one touchdown, Stephon Diggs was talking mad shit.
Nah,
You guys
Stephon Diggs
see
like
you guys see the touchdown?
yeah,
Yeah.
he took off his helmet, but
And he was talking mad shit, but he had one catch the whole game, and I just don't get it.
That's just
Stephon Diggs just doesn't like Kirk Cousins. So I think he always like wants to like be a dickhead when he has success, because I don't think like him and Kirk Cousins have any chemistry. I don't know why.
Facts.
Like this is just what I observed.
So I
don't.
personally think that Stephon Diggs talks mad shit to Kirk Cousins during practice.
They do.
Like I personally think that 100%. Like every bad throw, every missed touchdown, Stephon Diggs just lets him have it. And I feel like that's why the ball goes to Thielen more.
Yeah,
Like, that's why.
and Diggs is better than Thielen, like as an athlete, but Thielen is just always kind of open. But I remember last year when they were playing the Bears Week 17, if they won, they made the playoffs. Kirk Cousins just was not doing good, and Diggs was just on the sideline moping, complaining to Thielen. He was just like, his head was down. I don't think he likes Kirk Cousins, and I think when he does have success with Kirk, like when he gets a touchdown or something, he has to like make a point that like, hey, I'm like a top, 10 wide receiver or something, like in his mind, like, hey, I'm a beast, like you got to throw it to me more. And Kirk Cousins just doesn't do it. Kirk Cousins also sucks, by the way. Like obviously, like I'm always trying to like be nice to this guy, but like he just kind of throws games away. Like this is a game that like he just isn't capable of winning. Like putting up 16 points against the Packers. Granted, their defense looked good, but he had 2 interceptions. He was fumbling the ball. Like he's just kind of a mess right now. I don't know, but Dalvin Cook is making them a lot better. You got to give Dalvin Cook credit. He's looking like an absolute stud right now. Let's get into the Seahawks Steelers. I wish I could talk about the game, but the story of the game really is Big Ben is out for the season. He hurt his elbow. He probably needs like a Tommy John surgery or something like that, because the way he was throwing, he was grabbing his arm after. It reminds me of like baseball pitchers when they get a crucial elbow injury or arm injury or something like that. The Steelers, could we like cancel the Steelers? You think they're done? Like
Hell yeah.
There's no chance they can make the playoffs?
Steelers are
Yeah,
done.
what,
Steelers are
bro?
done. Steelers are done because they're not going to be that team that signs Colin Kaepernick.
No.
Steelers are gonna do nothing crazy. They're gonna finish off the season with Mason Rudolph. Who the fuck is Mason Rudolph?
He played all right.
I know him because I follow college football, and that's all.
He actually
Fucking
played pretty good.
Juju Smith-Schuster, come on, bro. Like
Why
I
you
said
hating
last
on
week,
Juju?
Kid's garbage.
I thought
Kid's
You said the kid's garbage?
Juju's not
Bro.
garbage.
Juju Smith-Schuster, if he
I
gets
said this
on a
last week,
good
too.
cornerback, he's not producing. I'm telling you that right now.
I like the
Sheesh.
Steelers a lot to win the division. I thought they were the best team in the division.
They're not winning shit.
Yeah,
I said
now-
that from the
now
jump.
they're
No,
not
they
winning
weren't gonna
shit.
win regardless.
They would have won this game with Big Ben. They would have. They only lost by 2, and Mason Rudolph, like, he did his job. Granted, he did okay, but I think like once Big Ben went down, the team kind of like lost motivation. Like the defense kind of just fell apart. The Seahawks won. Seahawks are 2-0. They're looking pretty good right now. They play the Saints next week, so they're getting lucky with these injuries because they play the Saints, who have no Drew Brees next week, guaranteed. So it's like
that boy DK Metcalf is a fucking grown man.
Nah, he's
bro.
a beast. I said it on the last podcast. He's like baby Julio Jones, and I see it more and more every day. Like he really is. Like he plays exactly like Julio Jones. It's insane. He's really a good receiver. So it makes sense that they picked him up. I mean, that dude was like a beast at the combine. It's kind of obvious, like he would be good. Like I don't know, but yeah, I mean, this game, the actual game, kind of didn't matter. It was a close game. It was a good game, but you know, it's just hard to see like Mason Rudolph play and like you could be like happy about it. Like you're not gonna watch the game, but Mason Rudolph's doing pretty good. Like Steelers have a chance. Like it was just I turned it off after that because I have Big Ben on my fantasy team too, so I kind of had like some bad vibes on that game. I was just like, I'm not gonna watch this. Like this is just horrible. Let's go into the next game. We have the Cardinals-Ravens. Jarny, your boy Kyler Murray. Do you like Kyler Murray?
Yeah,
he does. A little bit.
No. He was calling him a. Nah, yeah, he was calling him a baby.
Bro, this dude Max is always.
I feel like Jarny likes.
Nah. He was calling him a baby.
Never once did I fuck with Kyler Murray.
Yeah, nah, he did.
Not even in college.
Bro, I said he was a great quarterback, great player. He took the reins over after Baker Mayfield left, so obviously he was good.
In college, though. In the NFL, he never fucked with him.
He
said he should have went to baseball.
I knew that, because I remember you like, Kyler Murray, that boy's dangerous, or something like that. I remember, like,
in college, not in the league when he's getting every swat he throws, like, every pass he throws swatted.
He looked a lot better in this game,
He did look better.
He looked a lot better. He was doing some real drives. You got to remember, like, the Cardinals suck, so the fact that right now that they're doing okay to their standards, like, is pretty impressive. They almost beat the Ravens. Cliff Kingsbury, the coach of the Cardinals, he, like, didn't go for it, like, 2 or 3 times on 4th down near the goal line, which didn't make sense. And Kyler Murray was actually, like, producing. I don't know if that was the Ravens' defense not being that good or what it was, but he was doing good. Like, he was throwing the ball accurately. He wasn't really, like, moving in the pocket that much. He was kind of staying stationary and just using his arm. Kid's got a good arm, like, I'll say that. He's a good thrower. He could make deep ball passes, but it's just, I don't know, they didn't go for it. They didn't really gamble. They didn't really try to win the game, and that's why they lost. And also, I got to say, because I don't know if I talked about it on the last podcast, Lamar Jackson isn't, like, that good. Like, he showed it again, like, against a mediocre defense, like a subpar defense.
Bro, you can't take away the fact that he had good games, though. He had 2 good games.
Against the Dolphins, but, like, everyone's going to have a good game against the Dolphins.
Hey.
You can put Trevor Siemian against the Dolphins, he's going to drop 4 touchdowns. Like,
bro,
they're just terrible.
Yeah, 2 good games. We'll see how it goes on the rest of the season. You can't just hate.
Let's get into the Dolphins game now. Now that we're on the topic, so Dolphins. Pats won fucking a gazillion to nothing. I played the Pats defense in fantasy.
Should have took that bet, Johnny. You kind of bugging.
Yeah, you should have.
-19. That was a lock.
It was a lock.
Same.
It was crazy. I played the Pats defense in fantasy. Go figure.
Oh baby, yeah, sure.
It's the damn Dolphins, bro.
At your boy.
It's the damn Dolphins. Relax.
They said AB wasn't playing. You shitting me?
He's not playing. He's just got another case. Like literally today, he got another case.
Cases left and right.
Bro, I'm telling you.
And a verified Twitter said that he cleaned out his locker room.
All right. If anything, yes, AB might have sexually bro. First of all, AB didn't do it. They're just
because he's on the damn Pats. If he's on the Raiders, AB did that shit.
Yeah, if he was on another team,
he did that shit, bro.
They're just trying to touch my man's bag.
My man's, bro. It's not just damn man. He been there 1 week, bro. That's your man's now.
Against the Dolphins, I could have a good game against the Dolphins.
He's about to get the Super Bowl bonus, so these bitches they got their hands out.
Oh my god, bro.
Don't worry about that.
But I mean,
what I will say, AB had a great game. AB's a great Patriot. 16-0.
Bro, he played one game.
Played one game against the Dolphins.
Relax, bro.
Too soon to say. Hey, I said 16-0. It is too soon to say.
Bro, he said AB's a great Patriot.
They might go 16-0. I mean, like it's kind of hard not to. at this
Yeah,
point.
right?
He's a very good Patriot. Tell me a person on the Patriots right now that is better than AB. You tell me.
Obviously, there's
You
no
tell me
Exactly, no,
There's
but
nobody
the way you
better,
said
but
it
I'm
was
just
just
saying,
like he's like a all time, like he
Yeah.
broke the record for like receiving yards as a Patriots receiver.
No. We're not going that far yet. We're not going that far yet. Because who knows if the man is going to last until week 10? We don't know that yet.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
what I will say, Patriots are looking very nice. Last year, the issue with the Patriots was the defense. The year before that, it was the defense. This year, what do we have? Tell me what we have, boys.
Bro, it was the
I don't
damn
know, the
Dolphins, bro.
You have the Dolphins as an opponent twice a year.
Word.
That's what you have.
You act like they're gonna be doing this every week. Like,
Bro, it was the Dolphins, and next week we versus the Jets. So what are you gonna say then? It was the fucking Jets?
Yes, bro, what the
Because
fuck?
the Jets suck too. The Jets
Yeah,
are just
they have
as-
no
I mean,
QB.
We don't know yet, but like we think so.
All right. And the week after that, we versus the Bills. What are you gonna fucking tell me? It's the fucking
You guys have the
Bills?
easiest schedule of all time. You're like, yeah.
You're naming these teams like they're like contenders, bro.
I was looking at the schedule and I was like, damn, bro, we're about to give out a lot of donuts. A lot of donuts.
I played this dude Diego's fantasy team in our fantasy league, and he has the Pats defense. I scored 130 points, which in our fantasy league, PPR, is really good. I had the third most points in the week, and my team didn't even play that good. I had Big Ben as my quarterback, so he had 3 points. He got injured, obviously. So I dropped 130 with Big Ben, who had 3 points. So imagine if I had a decent team. I lost by 30. You want to know how I lost by 30? Because the Pats defense had 35 points. They had two pick sixes, which is 6 points each. They had 7 sacks. They put up a 0, which is 5 points extra. Like, of all weeks, I had to get the Pats defense versus the Dolphins. And, of course, they get 2 pick sixes. They couldn't just get 1 or something. Just chill. They got 2.
Two. My boy Jamie Collins. My boy Cracker Gilmore. Come on,
Cracker
baby.
Gilmore.
Cracker
bro.
Gilmore.
No one calls him Cracker
That's
Gilmore.
his personal nickname for him.
Let's please move on, man, because they just played the Dolphins. Johnny's acting like they won the 7th Super Bowl. Titans, Jags, my man Gardner Minshew. He's the real.
What's with these my mans getting thrown out?
No, he's actually
like
my
that?
man. He's actually my man. He's cool. Like, cool dude.
Claiming everybody. We claiming everybody.
Nah, Gardner Minshew. I like the Jags, man. I've been saying that. They're just a cool team.
Don't even keep going, bro.
Yeah, you know why Johnny doesn't like the Jags? Because I beat him when they had plus 7.5 in the
Yeah.
championship game. He was tight about that. 7.5,
Bro,
baby.
First of all, fuck the Jags, because how does Leonard Fournette finish off with 12.1 points?
I
Like,
said from the
don't
jump he's not gonna have.
I don't know what Leonard Fournette's deal is. He kind of just sucks. I don't know why.
Bro, he doesn't suck.
No,
I
he
feel like
doesn't
he
suck.
just has
He doesn't suck,
problems with the coach. Like everyone's beefing with the coach. Like I don't get it.
That is
I
true.
don't-
Yeah, it could-
Ramsey was
yeah.
like talking shit to him too. But
Ram-
Ramsey talks shit to
Want
everybody.
to smack the dog shit out of him. Like I don't see how that happened.
But-
Ramsey was literally about to smack his coach. Like I'm shocked that he didn't.
Say what you want though, that defense showed the hell up. They played a really good game. The only touchdown they gave up was because Gardner Minshew like fumbled on the his 20-yard line, so the Texans kind of had like an easy touchdown there. But hey, they almost came back. Gardner Minshew, he had like a minute left with like 1 timeout. He made some magic happen. He actually got a touchdown. They went for 2 to win the game, steal a game on the road because they played Thursday night at Titans. I'm sure they didn't want to like play overtime and then go play Thursday night. It's kind of difficult. But they didn't get the 2-point conversion. They ended up losing by 1 point. But hey, is the Jags D back? Is the Jags D back?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't
Nope.
think so. No.
I think so.
Nope.
I think so. I think it's back. They
course
played
you
a
do.
good. They played a really, really, really good game, and also had plus 9.5 in that game. Lock play of the year.
You saw how Ramsey locked down Hopkins.
He
That
did
was
pretty
nice.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did pretty good. I mean, their whole secondary and D line is crazy. You can't run on that team at all. Carlos Hyde was just getting feasted on. Carlos Hyde was like a Thanksgiving dinner. Like they were just killing Carlos Hyde. Let's get into the next game though. Don't even really want to talk about it that much, so we'll make it quick. Giants Bills. Giants.
Kill us to Josh Allen. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
The Giants season is done. It was cool hoping that this dude Ty gulped.
Ty Gold.
It was cool thinking that the Giants would go 7-9. I was actually pretty confident in that. I did think they would be good.
So clear.
I really thought they could be okay. But the defense is probably the worst defense in the NFL. Even the Dolphins' defense is a little bit better. In my opinion, like okay. Think about the Giants' opponents, right? The Cowboys dropped like 30, and the without the Bills, they dropped like 32. The Dolphins, they suck, but like at least they know they suck. You know what I mean? And like they're playing the Pats, and like the Pats are going to shun them. And the Ravens are like a unique offense. They weren't ready for that. Like the Dolphins' defense is probably decent. They still got Minka Fitzpatrick as of right now.
They're about to lose him though.
Yeah, they will. But I'm just saying, like the Giants' defense is so bad, and it's not even bad in like a normal way. Like it's just bad. Like every play is 20 yards. It's not like they just get a lot of first downs or like teams run the ball over them. No, they just every play is 20 yards. Every single play. Third down, if they even get to a third down, Josh Allen made magic happen. He was looking like Baby Wentz out there, just avoiding sacks constantly, just throwing the ball all over the place. That was pretty frustrating. Giants season's done. It's done until they take Eli out. They're not.
It's only week 2.
Yeah, but they were supposed to win one. They were supposed to go 1-1.
You a fan, bro?
I am a fan. They were supposed to go 1-1. They were supposed to win either the Cowboys game or this game, or maybe even both. But they didn't. They started off good in both games. They were up 7-0 in both games. Boom, 21-0 run.
This dude Max got a Rams jersey on the way.
I got my Minshew jersey on the way.
He got a Jared Goff jersey, I heard.
I mean, hey, bet the Rams, they did good. We'll get into that in a little bit. 49ers Bengals, another meaningless game, but the 49ers dominated. They play the Steelers next week at home, so probably going to be 3-0 there. Looking pretty good. Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom Brady's son. He's looking pretty good.
Tom Brady's son.
The Bengals suck. There's no new news there. They're obviously not a good team. John Ross got a touchdown with like 20 seconds left just to fuck me over in fantasy. Played John Ross and the Patriots defense in the same week in fantasy. Both teams just did the same shit, like just meaningless points for no reason. We'll take it, whatever. 49ers look good. That's all I can really say there. Chiefs Raiders. They were down 10-0 early. I was making fun of Malik.
Yes, sir.
And they just shut me up. I wasn't really, like, making fun of him for real. I was just kind of kidding around.
We was looking. It was a little scary.
It was a little weird.
He was like, damn. He's like, what's going on? He's like, that defense.
The Raiders looked really good for the first quarter.
That shit, oh, my God.
And then the Chiefs scored 28 in the second quarter. And that was that. That was the game. There wasn't nothing nothing else really happened.
That was it.
The Chiefs just, like, were throwing crazy Mahomes, rather, was throwing crazy touchdown passes to no names.
Nah, don't say no names, bro. It's
no
Mecole
names
Hardman. Who I have on my fantasy team that I should have started, and Robinson, who's good.
Yeah, but like they're no names to the common folk.
Yeah, all right.
To the average person, they're no names, and they were going crazy. They were open, granted, but Mahomes is a very good quarterback. If you weren't aware, that's all I can really say. Chiefs win. Obviously, the Raiders stink. Bears Broncos. This game was kind of boring.
Weird.
Well, it was boring. It wasn't kind of boring. It was boring, and then
till the last second.
The Broncos or the Bears are up a touchdown. Broncos had like a minute left or like 2 minutes left on the clock. Broncos get a touchdown. They were going to go for the extra point, but I think they got roughing the kicker or something like that. So they got a chance to go for 2 at like the 1 yard line. So they do, and they get the 2-point conversion. It looks like the Broncos just stole a win out of the jaws of defeat. Looked like the Broncos were going to just run away with this one. 30 seconds with that defense. Bears had like 1 timeout. It didn't seem like it was going to happen. And the refs screwed over the Denver Broncos. I don't understand why they did it, but they did it. So Mitch Trubisky, they called a BS roughing the passer. It was literally just a sack, but they called roughing the passer for whatever reason. So that helped him out a little bit. There's like 6 seconds or 7 seconds left on the clock. Mitch Trubisky's at the 50-yard line. They can't kick a field goal there. It would have been like 70 yards. He gets like a 15-yard pass, and the guy goes down. 0 on the clock. Broncos win. Hold up. They review it. 1 second left apparently when Trubisky called timeout, which wasn't true. It wasn't true. Like, it wasn't 1 second left on the clock. Like, watching the game, the guy was still standing with what was 0 on the clock. He just went down. Like, they barely even touched him. They just called timeout. They gave him a 52-yard field goal opportunity. Eddie Pinheiro, they were calling him Eddie De Niro. Like, I don't know. He's a kicker, bro. He got 1 kick. And they're calling him Eddie De Niro. He's not Eddie De Niro. He's Eddie Pinheiro. They just got lucky. They literally just completely got.
That kick was money, you goddamn hater.
Nah,
that was a great kick.
That guy is like.
Refs gave him that game.
The refs gave them that game.
The refs gave him that game.
Johnny's like a kicker lover. He likes Eddie Pinheiro, but hates on fucking Kyler Murray. Like, why? Why? You know, the guy, why? I don't know, man.
I hate you, Max. I honestly hate you.
You're gonna hate my whole bloodline after my dad wins tonight in fantasy.
I never said this because I like that so much. Oh, fuck, Mr. Bach.
Damn. That's fucked up. I mean, hey, right now in our league, there's only one person that's 2-0. Everyone else is probably going to be 1-1. So, pretty fair league right now that we got. Rams.
Just get hated.
Nah, you're done. You're not winning that.
Sheesh.
Rams Saints. Breeze got hurt. Aaron Donald crushed his hand with his own hand. That's how much of a beast Aaron Donald is. No disrespect to Saints fans, obviously, or Drew Brees, but Aaron Donald gave him a high five and sprained his thumb for 6 weeks. He didn't step on it or anything. He just gave him a high five and basically broke his hand.
Rams win again on some BS.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, we watched that damn game.
I was watching it very intently. It was a good game for me. I bet a lot on the Rams. That was the best bet on the podcast as well. It's pretty good. And the Saints, the refs kind of fucked them over. Obviously, they had a fumble return for a touchdown, Cam Jordan, but they called it dead, so they couldn't give them the full touchdown. They just had to give them the fumble recovery. And then Drew Brees got hurt, so that was it was a cheap win for the bet. It was obviously sad to see as an NFL fan because I wanted Drew Brees to play that game. He already threw a pick. I thought Drew Brees was going to have a bad game. But Teddy Bridgewater isn't a good backup quarterback. If Breeze is out for 6 weeks,
Bridgewater is not good.
No, he's
bad.
Ever since he got hurt in Minnesota, I don't know what happened exactly, but he tore his ACL from non-contact. He tore it during practice. Since then, he's just been on a decline.
Well, he's a backup quarterback.
I mean, he hasn't started. He's a backup. Yeah.
There's not much he could do.
No, he had a pretty good. He was doing pretty well on Minnesota. He was I think he was in. I forgot which year it was, but he was just he was building himself up. Everyone was Teddy Bridgewater might actually be good.
That was the year before Case Keenum.
I think it was more the hype though.
It was
more everyone was just happy to see him back.
That Vikings defense at the time was also insane. Yeah. And you could have put anybody. They put Case Keenum on the team, and they were one game away from the Super Bowl.
Facts.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just how the Vikings operate. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. If Drew Brees is out for 6 weeks, Saints season's done. I don't think they could really win much games with Teddy Bridgewater. Saints fans were calling for Taysom Hill to come in the game. Which
Johnny's boy.
I don't know. Maybe Taysom Hill could make some magic happen because he could throw. He's okay. Granted, he's not a good thrower, but he could do stuff. They could probably make something happen with him. They could probably win a game or two with him. But the Breeze injury, that sucks. I don't really understand how he got hurt for 6 weeks. Aaron Donald literally gave him a high five. It was
he was hard,
bro. That shit looks so bad.
Yeah, that shit was dumb hard.
As soon as his hand was coming down, Aaron Donald's hand was coming up.
Yeah, trying to smack that shit.
As soon as that happens, I'm surprised his shoulder's not fucked up because his shoulder is supposed to be pretty bad because literally it's as soon as he's coming down, his arm went up. At that point, you're supposed to your collarbone has a big chance of getting fucked up. You have a chance of tearing something inside of your rotator cuff. But he should be glad it's just his thumb because that could have been very. Aaron Donald was all over them the first quarter.
He's the best player in football.
Literally, the first run of the game is a run to Alvin Kamara. Bang. All you see is him try and jump, and Aaron Donald and Brockers just literally smashed his head on the ground.
Brockers is a beast too. Brockers is so underrated.
This is honestly fucked up to watch.
I mean, I feel like you could put any D lineman and with Aaron Donald, and they'll probably be good. But Brockers is so underrated, and then Aaron Donald's is the single best player in football.
He's a goon. He plays with grills in his mouth. He's a goon.
And Talib's a beast. Weddle. That's just a good team, man. It's just a good fucking team.
No damn beast.
Talib is a beast. Talib does his thing, bro. When it matters, he does his thing.
Fallback team.
That's my hey Rams going back this year. Believe that. Falcons Eagles. This game was really good. Probably perfect Sunday night game.
This game was horrible.
It wasn't hard. It was a crazy game.
Bro, the whole Eagles team got hurt.
Not the whole team.
The whole team got hurt.
Team, bro. Just a receiver.
And the Falcons still barely won that game. If it wasn't for, of course, Julio Jones, their Lord and Savior. Without Julio, the Falcons would be garbage.
You could say that about any team.
Bro, Matt Ryan threw 3 picks.
Matt Ryan does have a turnover fetish. He likes throwing turnovers. It gets him excited.
And he was throwing them shits to double coverage, triple coverage.
They were bad.
He was just launching. What's good with you, bro?
I don't know what Matt Ryan's deal is. but this team is playing at like 40% of their capacity. Like, they are literally so good. They just don't want to play like the way that they should, and it just makes no sense. One thing I will say that the Falcons did is they have like end zone problems, obviously, or red zone problems, not end zone problems. I guess they go hand in hand, but they were just lobbing it deep, and it worked. Matt Ryan just kind of overthrew a couple guys, but they could get big plays like constantly. They could do some Chiefs stuff where they just throw it deep and a guy pulls it down because they have the talent to do that. They just don't do it. So I hope that they start like,
because they got Matt Ryan as a damn QB.
Matt Ryan won MVP. I hate Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
I thought that MVP was Kubang. I thought it was
Throwing nothing like Matt Ryan.
What?
song.
I guess.
But yeah, and the Eagles. So Alshon Jeffrey got hurt. Jason Peters got hurt, but he came right back in the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that bad. Like, they just had Alshon Jeffrey get hurt.
Nah, but
And the backup tight end got hurt. Oh, my God.
They were hurt for a minute, bro.
The
It's not like they
backup
came
tight
back
end.
the next play.
The backup tight end got hurt. And Wentz
they got
hurt for a
and then
snap.
Falcons scored.
Yeah, well, the guy fumbled it. That's when he got hurt. That
Yeah,
was,
but Falcons scored. Once they got all those injuries, Falcons scored. Wentz didn't come back to like the end of like halftime.
Yeah,
It was just
he still
like-
did all right though. And Josh McCown,
It was kinda
Josh
too-
McCown kind of bailed him out because Josh McCown was doing pretty good. He got
Yeah.
like 3 first downs, and then they put Wentz back in, and Wentz got the touchdown.
Wentz was doing some shit though.
Wentz,
Wentz magic.
Oh my God, I cannot stand Carson Wentz. And if you bet against Carson Wentz, or if you just hate the Eagles, like I hate the Eagles. You know what I mean? Nothing against them personally, but like just fuck the Eagles. You know, division rival, whatnot. But Carson Wentz is just so annoying to watch because he'll get sacked, like, 10 yards back. He'll be on the ground, and then you blink, and then he completes a 20-yard pass, and you're like, how the fuck did this guy just do that? And he did it like he was doing that in his MVP year all the time, and I thought it was a fluke because I was like, okay, he's just making unbelievable shit happen. There's no way this is consistent. Like, he just can't do that forever because he's literally coming like out of like no D lineman could tackle him or something like that. And he would be like 4 guys around him and he would like escape the pocket. He would do it. He was doing it again tonight.
Max said, "Bro, it's been 3 years in a row. How is he doing this?"
It was 4th and 17. If they throw incomplete, the game is over. He had 3 guys holding him, literally like hands on him, and he throws a 20-yard dot to fucking Nelson Aguilar
As he was falling.
Yeah, and that was a different play.
Oh,
And then there was
that was
another
the third and, like, 9.
Yeah, third and 9. There's a guy literally grabbing him by his legs to push him down. He throws a complete pass for like 15 yards to like the backup tight end. It's complete, of course. And they review it, and his knee was literally like a centimeter, a pixel above the grass. And he got a first down out of it. And I was like, dude, Wentz cannot keep doing this. And if you watch the Eagles, or if you just like hate the Eagles or whatever, you know exactly what I'm talking about because like it makes no sense. Like, he literally defies logic. He defies fucking logic.
He's the Fred Van Vliet.
He is the Fred. He is the Fred Van Vliet of fucking football. He is literally like Fred Van Vliet. It just makes no sense. Like, it just shouldn't be happening, but it does. But yeah, Eagles got some injuries. Alshon Jeffrey obviously is a big one. That kind of sucks if you're an Eagles fan. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I hate the Eagles. So I mean, they still played pretty good though. The Falcons, they really needed a win like this. Like I predicted, they're going to go on a 5-game win streak. This is game 1. They play the Colts next week. They're going to win that. And I'll update you every week on that 5-game win streak. They're going to keep it going though. Let's go into the Monday night preview. The Jets. I feel like this whole week has just been filled with injuries. Continues here with the Jets. This time, Darnold didn't get sacked hard or anything, or he didn't get punched in the face or something like that. He got mono. Like a middle schooler disease, and that sucks.
He has mono, bro.
He has mono.
I was dodging mono in 8th grade. Like that's the last time mono, bro. Like imagine your starting quarterback having mono. I'd freak the fuck out if I'm a coach. I'd go crazy.
Yeah, but on top of that, Quentin Williams is hurt, which is bad. So he's probably not going to play tonight. Le'Veon Bell is questionable. They got a ton of injuries, C.J. Mosley, et cetera, but Trevor Siemian starting. What are your guys' predictions for Are you guys want to get into the best bets? We'll do that instead. That's easy.
No. Browns is winning this game. I need Baker to have like at least like 20 points, so I'm gonna go for the Browns.
Yeah,
I got the
Browns 27.
I got my Ohio hoodie on, so you know I gotta.
Malik is from Cleveland.
I gotta rep for my
Whatever the fuck
hometown.
they want.
I
The Jets do whatever the fuck they want. I just need Nick Chubb under 15 points.
I'm gonna
bro.
need Nick Chubb to get a quick 30. You know,
Yeah, I
2
need Chubb to
touchdowns.
Bro,
Feel me?
if Nick Chubb gets over 2 touchdowns, I might just jump off the fucking bridge. Not gonna lie.
What bridge is near
You'd be
you?
1-1 though. That's not a big deal. I'm 1-1 right now. Just
Bro,
fantasy.
fuck your record, bro.
Jordan, you're not.
Word
Johnny.
tie.
Jordan, you're in this league to donate to the champ. And that's me. I'm the champ of this league. I'm gonna win it.
He said you here for donation,
You're just
Johnny.
donate. I just need $50. I just need a bigger prize pool.
Brock, you suck at fantasy, bro.
My team's nice. My team's nice.
Brock, your team is falling apart, and I'm trying to save it, but you're not letting it.
He is
Nah,
trying to
you
say-
need.
Brock,
So
talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice.
Bro, I know you want Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. Your quarterback's not cutting it.
I'm gonna figure out my
Come
quarterback.
Bro, you know what he said? He was like, oh, I got Kirk and Minshew, bro. I'm straight.
He said he had Kirk and Minshew. I almost pissed myself.
Hey.
Bro. Like, that's how
Hey.
funny I found that text.
When you got Julio and Calvin, anything is possible. That's all I'm gonna say. Jarny declined a Calvin for Aaron Rodgers trade.
Calvin, I'll give you Aaron Rodgers, and we call it a day.
You need Calvin. You don't want Calvin. You need Calvin. We'll get into these best bets though, because I can't debate Jarny on his fantasy team. I don't talk to 1-on-1 teams.
Sheesh.
So. Let's go into the best bets though. Jarny's 5-5. He lost last week on the Titans. I'm 21-11. I went 3-1 last week. 3-1, pretty good. Won Jags, lost Giants, won the Rams and the Falcons. So I got a bet for you tonight. I'm gonna get to that a little bit. Malik went 1-1 last week. He had the Panthers -6.5 that lost, the Chiefs -7.5 that won, and then Ty had the Cowboys that won. He's 16-6. So all our records are pretty good. Like if you like making money, this podcast is a very helpful podcast. Let's get into the bets though. Jarny, what's your bet?
So my bet this night, I'm 5-5. Got to build it back up. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was
Rome wasn't built in a day.
bro.
neither was my record. So tonight I'm taking it easy. I got Baker Mayfield over 1.5 touchdowns. You know, a lot of you were gonna say, "Oh, why?" Because it's a lock. Fuck you mean why?
Sounds good enough to me.
It better be a lock, man. I
Sounds
need
good
him
enough
bug
to
out.
me. I got the Browns -4.5. So I got this line early in the week. I have like a website or whatever. I got it on, I think, Friday at -4.5. You could still get -4.5 if you buy points. I don't really think buying points is like a smart betting strategy, though. It's actually pretty dumb. -6.5 is like if you have to take it, if you think the Browns are really that good, you could take it. I think -4.5 is a little bit better. Neither are key numbers, so it doesn't matter too much. But I just like the 2 field goals, 6. I think 6 is a good number. If you get a 6 flat, that's a pretty good number. I'd take that too. But 4.5, that's what I got. Malik, what are you taking?
I got Browns money line. I'm not touching the spread. I just know they're gonna win this, so
Might win by a field goal.
they might win by a field goal. Then I would fuck around and lose, and I'm tired of losing. So I gotta get that record back up.
Rome wasn't built
11-6.
in a day.
Like Johnny said, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Ty, what are you taking?
Shit, if I made Rome, it would have been built in a day. So we're going to go ahead and get Odell Beckham Jr. over 83.5 receiving yards this game. That is a lock.
His MetLife revenge game. I like that. Thank you guys for listening. Let's increase the skill of our betting records because our betting records are pretty good. Except Johnny's 5-5. That's not his fault. We'll get there. We're eating on the bets, so let's continue tonight with the Browns. Let's go Browns, even though I hate Odell as of right now. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media, Instagram and Twitter at TU Sports Pod. You could also listen to us anywhere. Wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to us. Podbean, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. What's the new one? iHeartRadio, Spotify. Basically anywhere. Literally anywhere. We post on everywhere. Episodes Monday and Thursday. We're just producing a ton of content for NFL week, so we're excited about that. Thank you, as always, guys, for listening. I'm Brock, and I'm out.
I'm leaking them out.
I'm tying them out.
I'm Jarny. We're everywhere and anywhere, and I'm out.